Coffee Gang.
We have a guest in the studio that will be coming to tell you how to go to Canada legally.
Yeah, you have options.
Stress-free. All right, now the person is Mr. Steve Nwagbo. He holds a bachelor's degree in law from the University of Benin and a master's degree in law from the University of Lagos. And he was called to the Nigerian bar in 1988. And for over 30 years, has practiced law both in Nigeria and Canada. So you see the person we have in the studio not only has credibility, but I mean, the man has been there and he's a lawyer too. So welcome to the show, Barrister Steve Nwagbo.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Like you said, I was called to bar in 1988 and I've been practicing law since then. I was here in Nigeria, practiced until 2005 when I decided to relocate to Canada with my family. And I've been there since. I live in Toronto. I've worked there since, and then last year I decided, you know what, the kids are adults now, and my first son is a lawyer, my second son is a financial consultant. I decided, you know what, it's time to come back to Nigeria and see how I can help.
See, a lot of Nigerians, want to emigrate to Canada and they don't know how to go about it. Lots of people are being swindled. A lot of Nigerians, want to emigrate to Canada and they don't know how to go about it. Lots of people are being swindled. People are just parading themselves as agents, but they're confused as well. So maybe you could take us through how one can, relocate to Canada successfully.
Absolutely. The main gateway through which you can emigrate to Canada today is what they call the Express Entry Program. Now, this is the elite program. It's an accelerated process for those that have, if you will, the highest qualifications. Because Canada wants to bring in the best of the best. They want to bring in people who will come in and improve Canada. Okay, so here are the requirements are simply this. For you to qualify for the Express Entry Program, you have to be young and skilled. Now, young means you have to be 36 years old or under. Okay. Now, that does not mean that if you're over 36, you cannot get in. It just well, it just means that you begin to lose points because it's a points-based program.
All right.
And then number two, you have to be skilled. Skilled means you have to have higher education, something beyond secondary school. So ideally, it'll be university or degree or its equivalent. Now, with that, preference is given to professionals and those with master's degrees and PhDs
and so on.
Okay, so that's the second one. And then thirdly, you have to have some work experience.
Okay.
A minimum of 2-year work experience, because they want people that will come in and they're ready to hit the road.
Hit the road running, yeah.
Correct, right off the bat. And then there are a couple of other requirements, which is the IELTS test, International English Language Testing System.
Okay.
Canada has decided that every new immigrant coming into Canada must demonstrate an ability to understand, read, write, and speak English or French. Because we have two official languages in Canada, English and French, correct. So you must demonstrate that ability to understand, read, write, and speak either of those two languages. Okay, and then finally, you must have your credentials evaluated by one of the bodies that they have nominated. The most popular one is the World Educational Service. So what it means is, you go to your alma mater, you request for your transcript, they send it to West. West confirms that it's actually genuine.
Well said. All right.
People are just parading themselves as agents, but they're confused as well. So maybe you could take us through how one can, relocate to Canada successfully.
Absolutely. The main gateway through which you can emigrate to Canada today is what they call the Express Entry Program. Now, this is the elite program. It's an accelerated process for those that have, if you will, the highest qualifications. because Canada wants to bring in the best of the best. They want to bring in people who will come in and improve Canada. Okay, so here are the requirements are simply this: for you to qualify for the Express Entry program, you have to be young and skilled. Now, young means you have to be 36 years old or under. Okay. Now, that does not mean that if you're over 36, you cannot get in.
Yeah.
Well, it just means that, you begin to lose points because it's a points-based program.
All right.
And then number two, you have to be skilled. Skilled means you have to have higher education, something beyond secondary school. So ideally, it'll be university or degree or its equivalent. Now, with that, preference is given to professionals and those with master's degrees and PhDs
and so on.
Okay, so that's the second one. And then thirdly, you have to have some work experience.
Okay.
A minimum of 2-year work experience, because they want people that will come in and they're ready to hit the road.
Hit the road running, yeah.
Correct, right off the bat. And then there are a couple of other requirements, which is the IELTS test, International English Language Testing System.
Okay.
Canada has decided that every new immigrant coming into Canada must demonstrate an ability to understand, read, write, and speak English or French. Because we have two official languages in Canada, English and French, correct. So you must demonstrate that ability to understand, read, write, and speak either of those two languages. Okay, and then finally, you must have your credentials evaluated by one of the bodies that they have nominated. The most popular one is the World Educational Service. So what it means is, you go to your alma mater, you request for your transcript, they send it to West. West confirms that it's actually genuine.
I've always wanted to ask this question, Sha.
Yes.
I'm like, why Canada? What's so special about Canada? Why is it such a good place to settle in? Because a lot of people have been going about, they want to go to Canada. And I still don't get why.
You know what? I asked that question myself, many years ago, after I, graduated from university, when I got my law degree, I had an opportunity to go to Canada to do my master's degree. I was hesitant at that time, and actually I didn't go because I felt that it was too cold.
Yeah, it is.
It is cold. It is still too cold. But you know what? Eventually, when I went, I discovered that yes, it's cold, but you can actually manage the cold, right? But beyond that, Canada is a good place to go because, number one, the economy is huge. It's huge and it's diverse. Okay. I mean, Canada is one of the largest exporters of crude oil, natural gas, fertilizer, steel, and they have a huge service industry.
And the people are friendly, I heard.
Oh, they're lovely people.
Yeah.
You see, our neighbors, the Americans, they tease Canadians that we always apologize. Because you'll always hear Canadians saying, "Oh, I'm sorry. Even when they haven't done anything wrong." That's right.
It's like that sometimes.
Yes. So it has a huge economy. Number two, it's politically stable.
Yeah, that I can give them.
I mean, every time, say the US, when there's an election, everybody knows about it. It goes on forever.
True.
You hardly hear that Canada has
won
an election because, it's not as contentious as, in the US or even in Nigeria for that matter.
Yes.
Right. So in Canada, elections, and the reason, just to be very clear, the reason in my view is that Canada's elections are not about bread and butter issues. They're not about whether, your you eat today or not eat tomorrow, have it. No, it's not about those. Because there are certain fundamentals that are already in place.
Yeah.
Okay, for instance, you have, the free healthcare. That is not going to change whether it's the conservatives or liberals that win the election. Okay, the social programs are not necessarily going to change because, one party wins the election. So it's very politically stable.
That's amazing.
Yes, and there are a lot of social programs in Canada because, you see, what Canada has done, what they've done is establish a minimum standard that ensures that, every Canadian citizen and permanent resident has the basic necessities of life: food, shelter, clothes on your back, healthcare. Exactly. If you need a new heart in Canada, you walk into a hospital. All you need to do is show your health card.
A new heart.
A new heart.
So all of us have been heartbroken. We have hope.
You get a new heart. Come to Canada, you get a new heart.
So you see, even if you're heartbroken, you have hope.
That's right. Yeah, there's hope for you. Right? That's right. So there's so many reasons, it's a great country. In my view, it's the best country to live in.
Fantastic.
Hold on.
Second to Nigeria.
Thank you.
Second to Nigeria.
Second to Nigeria.
Yeah, thank you.
Nigeria is the
Second
best
to
place to
Nigeria.
live.
Exactly.
That's why I'm here.
We day here together. Now, let's
That's
take some
right.
of the more frequent questions that a lot of people ask before embarking on this program. One being, some say that employer-based programs really don't work. I've heard people say that they've been applying for jobs for months and they haven't gotten any response. Why do you think that is?
Well, simple. Because they have been going about it the wrong way.
Okay.
Okay. See, for you to get a response, you have to apply through the Canadian Job Bank. Okay. To get into the Canadian Job Bank, you have to have an express entry profile. When you have an express entry profile, you have an express entry number. If you're accepted into the pool under the express entry program, you will have a job bank verification code. You need either of those two numbers. If you're not in the pool, you will have what they call a standard account. If you're in the pool, then you have the what's it called now? The super account. Let me use that word. It doesn't come to me now. Okay, the premium account. Sorry. Okay, so you need either of those numbers to be able to apply through the Canadian Job Bank, and because that's what tells the employer that you're applying under the newcomers to Canada category. Otherwise, if you don't do that, it will appear as if you want to come in as an expatriate. Okay? And for you to come in as an expatriate, the employer has to prove that you're coming in to do a job that no Canadian can do. That's a tough hurdle to scale.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right?
It is.
And, the same is applicable in Nigeria. Okay, yeah. So, I'm sure you've heard about the expatriate quota.
Yeah.
Exactly. So our governments all over the world, respective governments, make policies determining the number of expatriates they can bring in and the conditions that must be met before you can come in as an expatriate. The primary idea is to protect local employment, make sure that employment opportunities go to nationals, to citizens first, before you start handing them out to foreigners.
Okay.
So it's a protective policy, and it's something, in my view, that should be encouraged.
You had already said that it's literally a necessity to write the IELTS test. Is it, or are there other ways?
It is. I get that question all the time, and people say, some people say to me, they ask me, "Oh, must I write the IELTS test?" And my answer is pretty simple: yes, you must. Okay. You see, I give you an example. I live in Toronto. Okay. in Toronto, you have clusters of communities, right? You have say, people from the Middle East, Arabs, right? Yeah. And they live in one cluster. You have the Chinese, they live in another cluster. The Indians, the Caribbeans, people from the Caribbean, even Nigerians.
Yeah, as it is in any foreign country.
Exactly. Some of these clusters, some of these people, particularly, those from the Middle East, Asia, Eastern Europe, a lot of them come to Canada and they decide they will not speak English or French, particularly in Toronto. There's a mall in Toronto called the Pacific Mall. It's owned by the Chinese. When you go in there, they mostly speak Chinese. That's right. So what has happened is that because you have all these, all these different communities in Canada, and Canada being a very cosmopolitan, country, they allow people coming from everywhere. And Canada then decides what they do is, they translate instructions into all the different languages in order to accommodate everyone. They've been doing this for a very long time. But at this point, Canada has decided they're not doing that anymore. One of the reasons could be the cost. I mean, you can imagine translating instructions into 120 or more different languages, or even more. Hiring interpreters. Every time, for instance, you want to go get a driver's license and you can't understand English, they have to print, the questions and tests in your language, or get an interpreter to interpret it, for you. Sometimes people commit offenses, and when they're arrested, they claim they did not understand the signs or the road signs or whatever. So it's been creating a lot of problems. And so Canada has decided, we need to eliminate this problem. So going forward, any intending immigrant into Canada must be able to demonstrate that ability to understand, read, write, and speak either English or French. French if you're living in Quebec.
Okay.
All right. Now, before we go on the next break, real quick, how much money do you need to have in your account if your application is approved?
Okay, so that's what's called settlement funds.
Okay.
Now it depends on the program you're going under. If you're going under the Express Entry program, for a family of 4, you're looking at anywhere from 20 to 25,000 Canadian dollars. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe in the neighborhood of 8 million or there.
Just say 10 million. Let's just say
10
million, 8
up,
to 10 million or thereabouts. But under the provincial programs, right, and just to circle back a bit, I didn't really feel, when you were asking, when we're talking about the various ways you can go to Canada. The Express Entry program is one way to go. Beyond that, next to that is what they call the provincial nomination programs. There are 10 provinces in Canada. Each province has developed its own program to attract foreign workers to meet their particular labor demands. Okay, and the requirements, the eligibility requirements for those provincial programs are much less than those for the Express Entry program. Okay, yes. So for instance, like I said, with the Express Entry program, you need to have higher education and all that. With the provincial programs, whether you're skilled or unskilled, you have a chance. Okay, so whether you're a driver, a cook, a mechanic,
opportunity.
Exactly. You work in a hotel, whatever field you are, you have an opportunity. And the requirements for the IELTS test are much lower.
Okay.
Right.
All right, real quick. We're soon going to break very soon, less than 30 seconds. Can I go with my family? Just tell me.
Absolutely.
Coffee Gang.
To have Barrister Steve Nwagbo in the studio. We're talking about how to go to Canada legally, not illegally, and he has been talking about the steps you need to take and the like. So briefly, before you give us your address and phone number, you said something about we can go with our families. And can you still relocate when you're like above 50? Just briefly.
Yes. So, look, there are over 70 ways you can relocate to Canada. Okay, so most of the programs right now are targeted at bringing in young, skilled or unskilled immigrants. The reason is this. Canada, the population of Canada right now is about 37 million.
Okay.
Right. That's a very small. Correct.
Let them come and collect more from here.
And about 50% of that population are 45 and above.
Yeah.
So there are people retiring soon. So the idea, so the one of the policy objectives is to bring in people who will remain in the workforce for a very long time. So that's why there's the emphasis on
younger people.
Younger people, correct. But that said, if you're older, you still have a chance. For instance, if you have family who are already there, a son, a brother, a sister, an uncle, an aunt, you do stand a chance. But, there are fewer programs, that target those, in fact, the reason they do that is it's called family reunification.
Okay.
But yes, they try to reunify families. So if you have someone who's already there, yes, you can come in under that program.
All right. Well said. All right.
Yes.
So how do people reach you? Where's your office, your phone number, social media, all that?
Absolutely. Our office is at 4 Admiralty Way in Lekki Phase 1.
Okay, so office 4 Admiralty Way, Lekki Phase 1.
Lekki Phase 1. And our phone number is 080-611-29192. So 080-611-29192. Okay. And right after this show, the first 20 callers will get a free consultation.
Okay, so how much consultation normally?
25,000 naira.
So you heard that?
Saving
Normally you pay
25K.
25,000 to consult him, but now you're getting it for free.
That's
First
20.
First 20 callers will get
first 20.
20, not 25.
Don't say that we don't do anything for you right here at Hot FM. The first 20 callers get 20 bands off. Well, 25. That's what it's worth. 25K.
Yeah, correct.
So there you have it. The number to contact him is 080-611-29192. 080-611-29192.
And the office is number 4 Admiralty Way, Lekki Phase 1.
Yes. You can also follow us on Instagram at Protea Law. Or visit like us on Facebook. It's also Protea Law Office.
Okay, Protea Law. That is the social media handle. Protea Law. That is PROTEALAW. All right, it's simple. Protea Law. All right. Thank you very much, Barrister Steve. Thank you for. And hopefully, when I want to relocate, but I still love Nigeria. I love my country.
Barrister Steve, me and you, we talk, eh? We talk, eh?
When I need a new hat,
we talk.
You're welcome.
When I need a new hat,
My hat has been broken already, Lagos men. They won't let me live.
Thank you so much for joining us. On that note,
thanks guys for having me.
Coffee Gang.